What playback speed is best for watching movies and TV shows when it comes to learning a different language? It's a common fact that if you watch TV shows and movies in your target language, you will get better at that language. However, when it actually comes down to watching content, there's so many variables like how fast do you watch it, or do you have subtitles on or off, and what language, and a lot of variables about what kind of content to watch. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how fast you should watch content in your target language to get the most efficiency out of your time spent watching content for language learning. So this advice is language independent. It's not stuck to any certain language. It works for every single language because the technique works the same. Also, obviously, it's platform independent. On YouTube or Netflix or Now TV, you can change the playback speed. So essentially, it works for any TV streaming service that you use where you can change the playback speed. My name's James. I'm a native English speaker. Pero habla español y anche posso parlare italiano. I help people reach a conversational level in a different language. I'm going to split this video up into 3 different sections. The first one will be if you're just starting out on your language journey, you're new to this language and you want to know how fast to watch TV shows and movies if you're new. The next section is if you're at an intermediate level in your target language. So you can hold the conversation, but you make grammatical errors on a regular basis. And the final bit is an advanced level. So if you're quite good at language already, but you want to get even better and really amplify your rate of progress, then that's for you. So if you're just starting out in another language, you're wanting to watch movies and TV shows to get better at understanding that language. That's the idea. It's the comprehension part of it. And realistically, if you want to succeed in learning this language and getting better at it, you need to be able to do it for the long term. And ideally, there should be minimal friction possible. So if you're enjoying the content you're watching, that's the main thing. Pick a movie or TV show that you think you'll enjoy in your target language. That's key priority number 1. So the question is, how fast should you watch content if you're a beginner? Well, I'd recommend slowing it down, not too much, but I would say around 0.8 or 0.9 times speed. At this point, you're not watching it incredibly slow, like half speed, because then you just lose interest, you'd be really bored. And also, you're not going too fast, so it's not at normal native speaker pace, it's a bit slower. And at 0.8, you can sort of, every now and again, you can hear the words being stretched a little bit, so it's a bit distorted compared to 1 time speed. But if you get into the action and all the drama and you're invested into it emotionally, you'll forget about that. It won't make a difference. But you'll be able to understand more of what's going on, and the words that you hear will be clearer because it's a bit slower than normality. On that note, I've created a free email course on how to watch TV and movies for language learning. It gives you all the best tips and tricks on how you can spend the least time learning and get the most value out of your efforts. There's a link below to check it out. So the main point is try and get into the flow of what you're watching, and at 0.8 speed, it should be a bit easier to do that. Also, just a quick one, you'll probably be using subtitles at this point. Don't try and have them in your target language, have them in your native language so it's easy to read what's going on while you're watching it. Now, the next section is if you're at an intermediate level of the language that you're learning. For this purpose, I'd recommend 1.1 or 1.2 times playback speed, so it's a bit quicker than normal. That means that if you get your ears and your mind more used to listening to that language a bit quicker than normal, when you end up having a conversation in real life with a native speaker, it'll feel a bit slower because you've trained your mind to go past the level that's necessary, essentially. You've trained it better than what it needs to be. At this point, remember, you should probably have subtitles, and if you're at an intermediate level and you can understand a fair bit of language anyway, then have the subtitles in your target language, so that even if it's a bit too quick for you to hear what's going on, you can still read the last bit of what's been said in the subtitles. The main target here is to try and keep yourself still engaged in what you're watching while pushing yourself a little bit to go a bit faster than what's necessary, so that when it comes to real life, you're better than you need to be. Bear in mind that if you set the speed to say 1.4 times or 1.5 times or more, you're losing the power then because you probably won't understand as many words as you'd like to. Words will get blurred and you won't understand exactly what's going on, and it's more important for you to understand what's going on so you can get invested into it and keep watching it than anything else. That's the main thing. And also the voices warp a bit after 1.4, 1.5 times, and it would be hard to understand anything at that point anyway. So 1.1 to 1.2 times speed is perfect if you're an intermediate speaker. Now to the final bit, if you're at an advanced level in the language that you're learning, then what speed should you have the playback speed to? Now this is a bit mad because what I'd say is you can push yourself now by having it on 1.3 or more speed, but I'd limit it at 1.3 if I were you, because then I'd take the subtitles off completely so that that's another level of difficulty for you. So if you're intermediate, you would have subtitles on most likely in the target language you're watching it in. But for advanced levels, don't have any subtitles on. Just listen to it, watch what's going on. You most likely understand most of what's happening anyway because you're advanced, but having it at 1.3 times speed pushes you. Think of it as more of a game to like challenge yourself to see how quickly can I understand native speakers when they speak at 1.3 times speed. Let's see how much comprehension I have of what's going on. Of course, even at an advanced level, you should still try and follow the storyline and get invested with what's going on. But obviously, you'll find that you whiz through content quite quickly because you've got it at a faster speed. Obviously, you'll find that you watch more content in less time because you're going through at a faster speed. But at this point, you will then accelerate your rate of language learning because then when you have a normal conversation with a native speaker, they'll be speaking slowly compared to what you're used to. So it'll be so much easier to understand them compared to previously. So that's it. If you're just starting out, have it a bit slower than normal. Whereas if you're intermediate, speed it up a little bit. But then the more advanced learners can have it a lot quicker and really push yourself to see what you're capable of. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a like. And if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe. Thanks and see you later.